Good evening. The Planning Commission meeting of August 6, 2025 is called to order. The Planning Commission meeting is being broadcast live on Glendale TV, viewable on Spectrum Cable, Channel 6, and AT&T Uverse Channel 99. Meetings are also streamed live in high definition on the city's webpage, glendaleca.gov/live, on youtube.com/myglendale, and on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire devices using a free app called Cablecast and choosing Glendale TV from the menu. Meetings are also archived on the city website for viewing anytime at glendaleca.gov/agendas. For public comments and questions during the meeting, please call 818-937-8100. City staff will be submitting the questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person. Current Planning Commission agendas are available by visiting our website at www.glendaleca.gov. Can we have roll call, please?
Okay, board member, Commissioner Fuentes,
Yes, here.
Commissioner Malikian,
Present.
Commissioner Manassian,
Here.
Commissioner Nazarian will be absent, and Chairperson Trakjian.
Here. Reports regarding posting of the agenda. The agenda for the August 6, 2025 regular meeting of the Glendale Planning Commission was posted on July 30th, 2025 on the bulletin board outside of City Hall. Next, we have approval of minutes from the June 4th, 2025 meeting. Can we have a motion, please?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Thank you. That brings us to our fourth agenda item, oral communications. I see here we have a card for oral communications. If you could please come up, introduce yourself, give your address, and then you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Beth Brooks, and my address is 346 North Kenwood Street, Apartment 6. Thank you. I'm going to read some statements later because you're going to get a report from the Community Development Department and probably about density, I'm assuming. So would that be about density? I mean, you don't have to, I guess, answer my question.
We don't know yet. Typically, when we get to Agenda 8, staff's going to tell us what's on the development update portion, but you're welcome to speak during that time as well.
Okay, then I'm going to read something from Lisa Cusack, Glendale's Assembly District 44 Chairwoman and GOP delegate who put this on X. What is the goal of more dense housing exactly, especially in residential areas with single-family homes? Is it fair for people to spend millions to move to a quiet residential neighborhood only to have politicians rezone it? Why not develop more land and make that area dense? There's so much that doesn't get discussed in the housing debate. What about homes in California that sit empty because they're used as investment properties, per the Newsweek article dated July 23rd, 2025? One of the things I always feel like asking in these discussions, what is the goal of housing actually, especially in Glendale? Is it just building? Or is it densifying neighborhoods and trying to push people to use public transport? I think it's more complex and nuanced than people on both sides wish to make it. I also want to say that, I'll be perfectly honest, from the numbers that I see, apparently there appear to be at least 1,400 vacancies in Glendale. I don't know where that number comes from because you don't have a rental registry, which you need to determine the accurate number of vacancies in the city. Because without that number, you cannot keep saying that Glendale needs housing, because it doesn't. Because what happens is, like in the movie, if you build it, they will come. Building actually brings in people to Glendale, which puts a burden on the infrastructure, which puts a burden on the police and the streets and the fire departments. So actually, it hurts the people who are here now. They are not necessarily moving up into better apartments. You are bringing people in because you're not even keeping those apartments exclusively for people who only live in Glendale. If you did that, which you can't do, if you only said these apartments can only be for people already living here, I would understand building. But if you build it, people will come into the city. So what exactly is the goal? If we don't need that housing, is your goal to bring people into Glendale? Because none of this makes logical sense. This is just a question. If we didn't have Sacramento really shoving these things down our throats, we wouldn't build anything.
Thank you. That brings us to board and commission member comments. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any comments?
No.
Thank you. We have no old business, so that brings us to new business item, Alley 239, Alley Vacation Case number 192V. Request to vacate portions of an 18-foot wide alley, Alley 239, to be incorporated into the new development of a density bonus and design review application to construct a new 8-story, 655,000 square foot mixed-use development, and I believe we have a presentation from staff.
Yes, good evening, Chair, members of the commission. This is an advisory review to vacate, once again, an 18-foot wide alley or portions of it and incorporate it within a 682-unit density bonus development. Prior to proceeding, minor clarifications on the public notices that were mailed and also on the sign. It notices incorrectly as 16 feet, but the alley is 18 feet, which I will be going through my presentation tonight. On the high level, Alley 239, it's approximately 18 feet wide and 607 square feet in length. It traverses in a north-south direction. It connects with California to the north and Wilson to the south. It's located also in the DSP Orange Center zone. Notably, just for surrounding and context, it's surrounded by this former Sears building, the parking structure that of the former Sears building, and also the Hyatt Place, which is at the corner of Wilson and Central. The proposal is to partially vacate portions of the alley, which will be approximately 400 linear feet. Also, it proposes to create a 20-foot wide alley at the southern portion, which will allow alley traffic circulation from Wilson and Orange Street. The vacated portions will be incorporated to the density bonus application as well as the design review application for the 8-story, 682-unit mixed-use development. Advisory review this evening is for the alley vacations general plan consistency and recommendation to the City Council for its final review. The land use element designates the property as downtown specific plan Orange Center, which supports the creation of higher density residential development at 100 units per acre. The DSP consists of an abundant retail, commercial, and entertainment uses and is within walking distance of convenient access to public transit, which the project will further its goals to implement the DSP's vision. The project also is in line with the housing element as it provides a wide variety of or range of housing types such as very low and low income housing via the density bonus application, as the project provides and it sets aside 14%, which is 67 units, and 1% of low-income units, which is 5 units, and once again, sorry, 14% is very low, 67 units, and 1% low-income, which is 5 units. The circulation element encourages land uses which can be supported within existing and future capacity. The project is currently serviced by Central Avenue and Wilson Avenue, which are a major and minor arterial. Major and minor arterial carry the heaviest traffic volumes and carries regional traffic. They connect to freeways, other arterials, business districts, major destinations, and support public transit, which the North Hollywood to Pasadena BRT will travel on Central Avenue, amongst other metro and local B lines within a half mile of the project site. Other streets accessed by the site are California Avenue and Orange Street, which are urban collectors. Urban collectors border commercial, industrial, multifamily residential properties. They channel traffic from local streets and direct it to its flow to major arterials and minor arterials. And also these urban collectors too can function as transit routes and may also support bicycle lanes and bicycle routes. Given the subject site is surrounded by major arterials, minor arterials, and urban collector streets, these streets can support the future capacity of this large-scale project. The recreation element calls to supplement parkland via the development of an in lieu fee structure and for the acquisition part of the development review process. As part of the development's project as a whole, the development will have project development impact fees, will provide funding to community services in parks, library, arts and cultures, CIP programs, including developing new or rehabilitating existing parks or recreational facilities and libraries. Additionally, 201 West California, which is shown on the top of the screen, which is the former Sears Auto Center, is being made available for purchase to the city for development of a potential public park As a result, the project implements the goals of the recreation element. And prior to concluding this evening's presentation, a single comment letter was received on behalf of the Western Carpenters Union, which was forwarded to the commission via email. It also is printed on the dais. A summary of the comment letter's requests were to require local workforce for the development of the project, impose training to prevent spread of infectious diseases during construction activities, and for the city to provide evidence that the project is statutorily exempt from CEQA, which the applicant's request for statutory exemption under AB 130 was emailed to the commission and also printed at the dais. Overall, staff agrees with the statutory exemption from CEQA, which notices were sent to the list of Native American tribes by law within 14 days of receipt of the applicant's lettered request. This evening's review is advisory for the alley's general plan consistency, which there are no discretionary action. But this concludes my presentation. Staff is available for any questions regarding the alley vacation or the comment letter received.
Thank you. Do we have any questions at this time?
Hi, I do have a question. So when this process starts, does staff route the plans through different departments? Have you gotten any comments back, particularly from Public Works and Fire Department?
Yes, we do route it, but right now we're currently processing, and we would be bringing the density bonus and design review to City Council and the density bonus to PHO. I don't have them on hand right now, but tonight is just for general plan consistency for the alley. But to answer your question, yes, we do route it for comments.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay, I'd like to open for public comment. I see 2 speaking cards for this item. First one, I have Joe Fuclesi? Fuchs. Sorry about that. If you don't mind coming up and introducing yourself and giving us your address, and then you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Sure. My name is Joseph Fuchs. I live in the Los Angeles area in Mission Hills. I work here in
Sorry,
the
I
Glendale.
apologize. The applicant actually is here, and they typically
Oh,
give
my
a
apologies.
presentation.
My apologies.
Sorry,
All right.
Sorry about that. We'll have the applicant up for their presentation. My sincerest apologies.
Yeah, no problem. My name is Reese Pedersen. I'm a representative for the applicant. I don't have a presentation today as planning went through the presentation, but I just did want to make one clarification on the agenda item for the report to Planning Commission. The applicant was named as James Gwilliam, MGP 12, Glendale Central LLP. James, it should just be the LLP, and then the applicant as the owner, and then as the applicant, it should be Maple Multifamily Land. That way we have consistency through all of our documents in our Stage 1 approval, which we started in 2021 on this project. And I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
I do. Thank you for bringing this up. And my question is, I'm looking through the site plan. Is this site architect or anyone available that they can help us with this, that they can bring in some information? Because what I'm looking at is, vacating the alley. Do I understand the vehicular entry that is there is going to be used as the basically access, egress, and egress from? I'm just not sure what your representation is in this project for me to ask these questions.
No, absolutely. So I know everything about this project. I've been working on this project for the
Okay.
past 4 years with the city staff and city council members.
Okay.
This project was brought in front of city council in, I believe it was 2023, and it was recommended for approval with changes. And we have not changed the site layout, but what we did on the site is we changed the exterior modulation and facades associated with the comments received by city council. The access that you are asking about, I believe there is if Dennis can pull up the site plan that was in his presentation, I can walk through this very quickly for everybody. But from the north on California, that would be access to the parking garage only. That access will serve for residents, guests, and also individuals that are visiting the property to access the retail space that is fronting California. And then as we move to the As we move to the east side of the building, we have Orange Street. There is ingress and egress off of Orange Street to the alley that will be dedicated to the city. That is public access, and individuals can travel from east to west off of Orange Street. And once they reach the alley, they can make a right into the project site, or they can make a left and continue south down the alley. And then as we continue on Central Avenue, we do not have any vehicular ingress or egress. That will be limited to a pedestrian paseo that splits the mid-block site, traveling east to west.
So the reason that I asked for fire and public works, generally when we have new development, there is a dedication that is required to widen to achieve the ultimate 20-foot wide alleyway. As I'm looking at the remaining balance of the alleyway, I'm trying to understand the impact of the remaining properties and basically a dead end, which what you answered now, that they can turn into that, the path
Correct.
to exit out. The question is that for fire, the apparatus accessibility, because then technically they can come through there, but what happens, have they looked into this? Have they given a comment? Because literally from your development down to, is it Wilson? Down to Wilson, it remains untouched. And a lot of these, and then that kind of carries over to all these others, the more closer lots that are closer to the development are pretty much dead end, and they have to come back, they get back out and come back out again. So I'm just trying to understand, because that essentially that pass-through is blocked off. And so I'm just wondering if Public Works and Fire has looked at this.
Public Works and Fire have both reviewed our plan and
Okay.
do not have any issues with the proposed design.
Okay.
We have designed the turning radius so that we can fit fire apparatus and vehicles.
Okay.
And so they've been involved with the process since we started the design.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have any further questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Fuchs, let's try that again.
Just want to start off, I was a long-term resident at 435 Hawthorne Street, right next to Galleria there, so I know Glendale very well. And I know a lot of traffic happens when you build huge facilities like this or apartments. My current address is 15439 Vintage Street, Mission Hills. I just wanted to say, my name is Joseph Fuchs, and I'm a member of the Western States Regional Council of Carpenters. I've worked in this area and lived in this area for quite a long time, and I believe there will be an impact on the environmental impacts of this project. The city should require the project to be built with contractors that hire locally, pay prevailing wage, and utilize an apprenticeship from the state apprentice training program. Workforce requirements reduce construction-related environmental impacts while benefiting the local economy and workforce. Work where you live where you work. In a recent 2020 report titled Putting California on the High Road, a Jobs and Climate Action Plan for 2030, the California Workforce Development Board concluded that investments in growing, diversifying, and upskilling California's workforce can positively affect returns on climate mitigation efforts. The South Coast Air Quality Management District recently found that local hire requirements can result in air pollution reductions. Recently, the state of California reiterated its commitments towards encouraging workforce development and housing affordability through the Affordable Housing and High Roads Job Act of 2022, otherwise known as Assembly Bill 2011. Which requires projects pay workers a prevailing wage and hire from a state apprentice program for projects meeting certain sitting and affordability and development standards. I've been a member of the Carpenters Union for 38 years, and I see people being taken advantage of, we just call that. And in a situation where a building like this is being built in your city, and knowing that there are people being taken advantage of in your city, I see it all the time, where they're being paid cash, they're being taken advantage of. There's human trafficking even involved in this. And I see it all the time because I am a representative of the Carpenters Union. And to know that it's happening in your backyard is something that I think that this city should be really looking into, because I see it all the time. And of course, I'm the bad guy, but in reality, if it was somebody that you had employed and you were working, and cash pay does affect your community, because what happens with that is takes away from city government, takes away from the fire department, the police department, takes away from the city's funding and able to operate without being in the red. And when contractors come into your area and they do not pay the workers correctly or pay them a living wage, it affects not just them, but it affects the city itself. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I don't have any additional cards, so that concludes the public comment, and we can open for deliberation.
I can go first.
Sure.
So, thank you for the presentation. We're here only to discuss about the alley. Being that it is a through alleyway and the proposal is going to be blocking, I think a recommendation would be is to be a little bit more clear about the presentation and understanding of how fire department and public works are going to react to this. And I'm sure what the applicant said, that everything is fine, but more of a presentation for council for them to understand, being that the remaining alleyway remains untouched, and we're assuming that all the traffic, that we're going to have a substantial traffic load that is going to be added onto this corner, is basically going to be exiting out through the, assuming that half of the people will be exiting out through there, and what kind of an impact it will have to the streets and to the alley, particularly to the adjacent properties. That's my only comment on this, but other than that, everything else is fine.
Commissioner Fuentes?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, staff, for a very good report. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And I reviewed the application, and number one, it's statutorily exempt from CEQA. It has gone previously before the City Council, and it's been reviewed by the other departments with no major concerns or negative comments. And I don't have any major concerns or issues also. So when the time comes, I'll be ready to move
Okay. Thank
the
you.
alley vacation.
Commissioner Manassi, any comments to add?
I basically was going to say the same thing that Commissioner Fuentes said. I don't see any major.
Okay, well, if you want to entertain a motion, I'm happy to just open it up for vote. I don't have any additional comments
Okay.
to add on this.
So I'll just make a motion that, well, I support the request and that we approve the alley vacation.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Commissioner Fuentes,
Yes.
Commissioner Malikian,
Yes.
Commissioner Manassian,
Yes.
and Chairperson Chirakhchian.
yes.
Okay, so motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that will bring us to Community Development Department updates. I have another speaker card here. Should we start with that and then have staff opine if you have additional comments?
If I understand from Ms. Brooks, she wants to hear the updates and then
Okay.
comment on that, so.
So why don't we do that?
Not a lot of updates. We do not have anything on the agenda for the next meeting, which I believe is August 20th. I will keep you guys up to date when we do have something on the agenda. And Dennis, if you could pull that up.
Pardon me. You can edit with photos. Oh, it's coming up now on the other screen.
So on behalf of our long-range planning section, they asked us to just bring this update. We did bring this last time as well, so just kind of repeating. The draft versions of the land use element as well as the environmental justice element, which is a newer element we're introducing, they have just been released. They're available online for public comment until August 19th. Members of the public are welcome to visit www.glendaleplan.com if they'd like to review the documents and/or submit comments. Anyone with questions can contact our long-range planning staff, and that's more or less the announcement. Aside from that, we don't have any other updates.
Didn't we have the event last night at Pacific Park for this?
I believe they were at the Night Out event last evening. Our long-range planning staff has been attending, city events, like they were at Cruise Night as well. And I think there's a few more on the horizon. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Brooks?
Actually, it would be regarding this comment period. I did read something on CEQA that there was a comment period that ended the end of January 2025. So I don't know how this is different, this comment period, and what you're going to do with these comments. I do know the city council, let's say, did a poll where they found out what people want, and then regularly every week they completely ignore what the poll says. So I don't know what you're going to do exactly with the comments that people make, because the history has been basically to just ignore it. And you basically just rubber stamp what everybody has decided is going to happen anyway, which is high-density zoning and, single-family home, areas. So that's what I would really like to know at some point, like, what is the point of these comments? What are you doing with these comments? Will these comments, if they go against the prevailing wisdom of the particular department, actually alter anything? I mean, what kind of input does the public have in such a huge question like this, which is to really reshape Glendale? And the reason people live here, I think, is because they don't want it reshaped. So that's sort of my concern about what happens with these comments. What do you really do with them? What have you done in the past with comments? How have they helped? How have comments impacted what you've done? Have there been any changes in your plans based upon people's comments? Because other than that, it's just performative. It's just to fulfill some, requirement to look like you're engaging the public, but it's not really doing anything. So that's my comment and concern. Thank you.
Well, just to designate or differentiate, Ms. Brooks, I think CEQA reform comes from the state, so that was recent measures conducted by the state that have changed the CEQA laws. And so that's unrelated to what's being presented here. This is strictly the city's attempt to increase stakeholder outreach, something we've also been recommending over the past few years and trying to show more towards the end of our meetings so that the community is more aware of what's upcoming. And for example, this is just two elements within our city's general plan related to land use and environmental justice. So if you have specific comments that are related to those two particular topics, we would recommend attending and opining on those because those comments are taken seriously and factored into the decisions that are made. And we're trying to just increase that going forward so that people participate more in local governance and so that they're not just caught off guard by some decision that comes down the pike down the line and then feel like they're essentially disenfranchised by the city they live in. So I think the whole goal, and it's not perfect yet, is to encourage more participation and to welcome comments on things like this from the community.
No, I understand. I'm just concerned that comments are actionable.
I hear you.
That's my concern. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn,
So moved.
my specialty.
Thank you, everyone.
So you know my